how does one should conduct his or her day-to-day life in after taking a samasya? How should conduct the day-to-day life along with?
So there are two aspects. One is, because we are talking about newcomers, first how to spend our life before getting Panchasamskaram and then after getting Panchasamskaram. Both we can see. See, before getting Panchasamskaram, we must try to associate with Vaishnavas, Sri Vaishnavas, and approach them, get knowledge from them by regularly going and meeting them in person as much as possible, and also making use of the resources, whatever resources we have in social media or websites, e-books and so on, and lectures and so on. We have to gather those and we have to engage in studying those as well. So one side we have to engage in some service towards the person who will guide us, towards the person who will mentor us, and be in this association to some extent as much as possible. On the other hand, we have to depend on the literature, whether it is in written format or in audio format or video format. We make use of those and constantly learn little bit by little bit every day. If you try to do everything in one day, it may not happen. So we have to have a proper schedule. We have to have something like 1 hour for listening to lectures, 1 hour for a little bit of meditation on Bhagavad Ramanuja. Because until we get Panchasamskaram, we cannot recite Jai Mahamantram or Ashtaksharam or anything like that. So until then, we can think about Bhagavad Ramanuja, sincerely praying to him, so that we get his connection through an Acharya. So for that, we can think about Bhagavad Ramanuja. And also, in the early stages, we have to know about our Guru Parampara thoroughly. Because once we go to an Acharya and get Panchasamskaram, then we can learn Rahasya Granthams and other Granthams. But before that, we cannot learn those Rahasya Granthams. Until then, we have to fully focus our mind on getting thorough idea about how our Alvas and Acharyas lived, what kind of lifestyle they had, how they were fully dedicated to Bhagavan only and Bhagavadas only. They were not having any materialistic attachments, they were not worried about comforts, and all of these aspects will be clearly understood by going through their charitra, their life and glories. So when we go through them, we get inspired more and we will have more desire to get Panchasamskaram. So until we get Panchasamskaram, we can focus on the Guru Parampara, Advars Acharya's Charitram, and some basic texts, basic series of articles, series of lectures on simple Sri Vaishnava lifestyle concepts, basic principles. These can be the focus before we get Panchasamskaram from the point of acquiring knowledge. And then there is the aspect of engaging with Sri Vaishnavas, going on yatras, having darshan of Dividesha Perumal, because in our Sampradayam, Archavataram is the focus. Archavataram Perumal, Bhagavan is the center. Everything is focused on him only. So we go to Divideshams, have his darshan, because by his beauty, by his charm, by his vatsalyam, we will be more attracted towards him. Without the Archa Tirumeni, the whole Sampradayam cannot be sustained. The whole Sampradayam is sustained by Bhagavan's Archa form only, Sri Murti only, Bhagavan's Divya Mangala Vigraham only. So there is so much emphasis on his form. So when we have the opportunity, whenever we have the opportunity, we have to go to Divideshams, have darshan of Perumal, because his divine form is known as Shubhashrayam. It is the most auspicious refuge for us. So we have to depend on Archavadara Tirumeni form of Bhagavan. Same with Alvars and Acharyas. Alvars divine forms, Acharyas divine forms in the temples, they are more merciful than even Bhagavan's divine forms. They will cultivate the devotion in our mind, and we will become more fixed on the path of devotion. So all of this is to be done before Panchasamskara. Once we get Panchasamskara, then we can incorporate few more things. Going on yatras, engaging in Kainkaryam. Kainkaryam is the natural outcome of realizing the true nature of the Atma. That is being a servitor, dasa. That's why we always say dasa, adiyan Ramana dasa. That means we are the servitor to Bhagavan. That is the natural position of a Jivatma. Everything else is additional, secondary. That is why in our Sampradayam, our Purvacharyas have emphasized that this adiyan, we often say adiyan. This adiyan is the real identity of the Jivatma. Being a servitor of Bhagavan is the identity. Everything else comes after. One may be engaged in Pushpa Kainkaryam, one may be engaged in doing sweeping Kainkaryam, one may be engaged in decorating Perumal, one may be bringing water for Perumal, one may be doing preparation of bogam, food items for Perumal. All of these are the activities which we do. But what is our identity? It is always dasa, it is servitor. So this particular concept should be very, very firmly established in our mind, and this service should continue. Whether it is before Panchasamskaram or after Panchasamskaram, we have to engage in service. But service should be based on one's varna, one's ashrama, and the instructions of Acharya and Shastra. So all of these will play a role in what service we can do. That we have to discuss with our elders, our Acharyas, and find out what service we can do, and we can engage in that service. But service must continue. And it will continue even after reaching Vaikuntham, after Paramadam. It is not that once we reach Paramadam, we get to relax. Okay, now we have done. That is not the case. There also we are going to serve. Here we are training. There we are going to practically continue the service in the purest form there. Here we are doing it in the mixed form. Yes, we have lot of defects, desires, worldly desires and all. With that we are doing Kainkaryam. There we will do it without any of the disturbance. It will be a pure Kainkaryam there. So service will continue. Other than that, knowledge acquiring, we have to know more intrinsic matters, deeper concepts, such as Artha Panchakam. What is Jivatma Swarupam? What is Paramatma Swarupam? What is Upayam to reach him? What is Upayam? That is the goal. And then what is the Virodhi? What is the Virodhi? What are the hurdles? So all of these are Artha Panchakam. Then Rahasya Trayam is there. Tirumantram, Dvayamahamantram, Charma Shlokam. And then higher principles like Acharya Nishta, how to be totally surrendered to an Acharya, how to understand Bhagavan's Nirhyataka Kripa. So many of these concepts are there. All of these have to be learnt through Purvacharya's Granthams. Many Granthams are written by Purvacharyas. Why? They could have simply said, you get Samashrayanam and you get Moksha. But they did not write that one sentence. They have written many hundreds and hundreds of pages of instructions for us how to live as a Shri Vaishnava. So we have to learn those Granthams and then put those into practice by again taking guidance from Acharyas and bringing our lifestyle into a Vaishnava lifestyle. How a Vaishnava should live, that should be learned and that should be practiced.
I think that partly answered my next question as well, which was when do I know I am ready for Panchasamskara?
See, as far as Panchasamskaram is concerned, as long as we have the desire, deep desire, we should go ahead and do it. We should not wait for too long thinking that, oh, let me get qualified first. Because the qualification has no boundary. For one person it may be just avoiding other materialistic things. For another person it may be total devotion to Perumal. For another person it may be total devotion to Bhagavatas. For another person it may be something different. So this qualification or the criteria for getting Panchasamskaram, different people may view it in different ways. But the foundational aspect is we must have the desire to reach Bhagavan, and we should be having detachment in the worldly aspects. And we also should have the desire of not having another birth in this world. As long as that desire, that understanding is there, I don't want to have any more birth and I want to only serve Bhagavan. I may not be able to serve 100% now, but my ultimate goal is to serve Bhagavan only. If that desire is deep rooted, then we can immediately get Panchasamskara. We need not wait for any auspicious day. We need not wait for particular occasion to happen. Only at this time. Some people say I will get after marriage. Some people will say I will get after getting a job. Some people will say I will get Samashanam after reaching a particular milestone in my life. So those things need not be the criteria. The criteria is whether we have the desire or not. Because when we have the desire, we should announce Panchasamskaram is nothing but we are officially announcing that we are Vishnu Bhakta. We don't have any other desire other than reaching Vishnu. That is the goal of Panchasamskara. And the Acharya is facilitating that. So for that, we only need the desire to publicly announce that I am ready to be only identified as a Vishnu Bhakta, Bhagavad Dasa. That is my identity. I am willing to accept that. So when we are ready for that, we should get Panchasamskara. If we are not ready for that, then we should not get Panchasamskara. So that is the only criteria. And when our mind says, okay, now I can officially announce that I am a servant of Bhagavan, then we can take Panchasamskara.
ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download KOYIL, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.